Good afternoon, YouTube. So today's agenda, I've got to get an engine blasted. So I've got a yfz450 here. I actually got from a guy I know. I worked for him, did some parts on his quad. But he gave me a 450 in return, or as payment. But I'm looking at it, and I actually do have it for sale. So it's been for sale for like a month or two. So I'm like, I don't know. In case I decide to keep it, I want to vapor blast it, clean it up, make it look good and shine. But I'll show you the results I want to get and what it looks like. So here it is. This is just the lower case, of course, but it's a little dirty. It's not crazy. Well, it could be worse. But of course, backside need to change where it's worst. It does have some damage, but otherwise it looks pretty good for the most part. But I'm going to take the time to pull them apart, take all the bearings out, all the seals, all that stuff, and then get those plastered. Except for some stuff I want to be careful of, especially in here, because this needs to be very good tolerance. But this is the shine I kind of want to get. So this is my, what is it, 87 KZ 250. So I've had this for many, many years. Never done anything with it because I bought it for a project. I didn't get rid of the project, and I kept this. Or been trying to sell it, but I also want to take the time to blast the rest of this so it's all shine. Get these bearings out, and then maybe eventually rebuild this engine. Put it in a project. I'm really not sure, but same with the studs. I want to clean these up, make them polish up again. So if you look on the inside, it looks pretty clean. I'd say it's actually not bad. Not even the bottom end. So I think I actually did. No, maybe I didn't. No, maybe I did. I might have took the time to clean them up a little bit, but I didn't do the vapor blasting. But these bearings need to replace. I mean, listen to it. Some grit in that one. Some of these are actually kind of stuck. That one's all right, but this one especially. But it's 450. You don't want to, you don't want to use the bearings. You need to replace them. So especially with these ones, main cranks are really bad. That one too. That was really bad. That one's bad. That was bad. And it was sitting in some. I think the bottom end was together, but it had no top end on it, so it's been sitting for who knows how many years. But I'll start getting those pulled. So I wasn't able to get all the bearings out, but I got majority of them out. It's just the main crank bearings. These bolts are not only thread locked, but they're peened, so it's a little hard to get them out without breaking a tip or stripping them. Then I need to get a torch so we can heat them up and try again. But for now, that's all. But I got all that stuff out. So I guess we'll get these in the blasting cabinet. So this is the grit, or I should say glass bead mini that I use. It's 80 grit. And then once I'm done with that, I'll use the 100-170 grit glass bead. This stuff's actually pretty cool. It's nice and fine, and that brings that shine. They do make a 325, I think it is. That'll bring the shine really up. So for now, I'm gonna use these. So maybe kind of hard to hear me or see anyways, but I'll give you an idea of what it looks like from the inside. It don't take much to lose sight on this, I'll say that. But even just a little bit right there. If I can get it to focus, it won't, but it makes a big difference. You can't really tell from the camera, I'll be honest, but I'll give you a rough idea of what it's like. So typically with glass bead, you don't really want to run anything above 80 psi because it'll start to wear down and break down rather quickly. But the main thing is to just make sure you hit every spot, at least every spot you can see, and just take your time. Especially on spots that are really coated in grit and grime. You definitely want to take your time with those spots, like this side especially. But even in that little spot right there, you can tell, you can see the difference. Coming up pretty good already. I'll get a better photo later on anyways. I can get focus. Yeah, see how bad the spot is right now? I get the focus. Kind of tricky, but just, I mean, look at the difference already. It's quite a bit. That's why I like bare blasting. It's very time consuming, I will say that. You're gonna have patience, but if you don't, then you're just, it's gonna be complicated. That's why a lot of people just paper do this stuff, because this stuff takes time. Unless you have a really good compressor, and then it just takes no time at all. But those air compressors cost thousands of dollars. I'm gonna get a, well, myself, I'd have to get myself my own new fresh panel in my house, just so it can sustain it. So for the time being, all I have is a Harbor Freight Special. That's what I call them. It tends to work. Just takes quite a while. Is all. A lot of fill-ups. Kind of tricky. Like I said, just basically being thorough is what makes a big difference. As long as you take your time with it and look at every spot, you get to look pretty good first pass. That's all I can do for now because the air pressure is getting low. As you can see, it doesn't take long before it starts getting a little too low on PSI. So I pulled out, kind of give an idea of what it looks like, but that's just first pass of it, which ain't really too bad. In this area, you can definitely tell, like, it'll focus. You see a lot of, like, looks like pitting here, discoloration and whatnot, little spots and dots. That's because of all that not condensation, corrosion's just been sitting on here, all that gunk and junk. But think of it this way, it's all gonna look like this for now, or once I get all this blasted, it'll look like that, which is gonna be pretty nice already as it is. I mean, right there looks almost brand new from factory. You can see the line difference. I didn't go over this spot and just look at it. Quite a big difference. I'll fill the air compressor back up and keep going. So I got this case basically blasted on the outside. I gave the insides a smidge little blasting just to clean up a little bit of stuff here and there, but turned out pretty good. And that's the old case, or that's how it was originally. Which I'm gonna get to this one next, but right there. Some of the stuff is just wet spots. I'm waiting for it to dry fully, but that's not bad. I think the polishing can go really good for this one. Not a lot of bad spots on it, to be honest, so that turned out really well. So I got them done. The reason I was rusting these ones is I forgot to pull the pins out, or I didn't forget, but they didn't come out until after I blasted them. But they turned out pretty decent. Not too bad. Of course, another thing you should do when doing vape blasting is definitely wear gloves. Because oil in your hands will get right into the aluminum and just instantly smudge it. But that's it for today. So it's getting a little late, but tomorrow I think I'll finish off the compressor. I'll finish off and do the polishing compound or polishing grit, whatnot. But I'll finish it off tomorrow. And these cases will be done. I did remove one of the bearings. I couldn't get one bearing out because the bolt basically is just T30 star bit. So it does not want to back out, and they peened it, so it makes it even harder to get out. So tomorrow I'm going to have to heat it up and then try again, because I'll show you if I can find it. It's actually twisting the tip. Hard to see it, but twisted my other one, almost snapped it off, so I'll have to get a different one or try this one again. We'll see. So it is the next morning. It's about 20 degrees or so out, so I got the heater going in here pretty nicely. But got those to do today. I'm gonna do the polishing on them, but for now, or first things first, I gotta clean up the tank because all that 80 grit's still in there. I gotta make sure it's cleaned out. You know, so normal people, when they vape blast, they have 2 separate tanks. That way they don't have to do this issue, or deal with this issue, I should say. But that's how they look now that they're all dried up. Actually, you can get away with doing just 80 grit, honestly, because it makes it look from factory. I mean, they look really good. Not gonna lie, but I want to polish them, so I'm gonna polish them. So if you look inside, you can see why I gotta spray this out, because there's still a lot of grit in here, especially on the bottom. This is all frozen too, because again, it's got to like 15 degrees last night, so all this needs to be sprayed out. So I got my hot water, so I can just kind of dump it in there, spray it around, and then get all the ash, all that crap out. So as you can see, that's just first pass of trying to do that, because there's still enough grit in the bucket now that I can actually clean it back out again a second time, because all this, as you can see, is still on there. So it does take a little bit to do, kind of annoying at times, but you gotta do what you gotta do. See what I mean by there was a lot in there still? This bucket was empty earlier. Just from that one pass alone, that's how much I got out of it. So even that's after the second pass, and there's still a little more to come out. So it's a good reason why people have multiple tanks. So that is after the final third pass of washing it out. Most of it came off, not everything's gonna come off anyways, but got my engine case in there and getting ready to go. I'm running it at 55 PSI for the 170 grit, just so it polishes it up a little bit, and I'll drop it down like a second time, like maybe 30. I'll hold it away from the actual part and then finish it off. So I got the right one done, technically my left, but it's right, but hard to really tell the difference when it comes to polishing sometimes, especially in the light, because you definitely tell that this side's still rough as hell. Hasn't been cleaned, but this side, see if I can actually pull it apart by itself. Maybe. Yep. Didn't do much to the inside because the inside's already clean as it is, but let's see if I can get a better view. Turned out really well. But a case like this, since they're already just bare aluminum, you can see spots like that from just contamination and whatnot over the years. So again, won't be perfect, but good enough for me. So we got both sides done, and they're all good to go. I mean, look at the top. Looks really good, but again, there's some spots like you can see right here. I don't know if that's oil from my fingers or what that is, but... And I'll show you the difference between these cases and the other ones I've done. They turned out really well. Really happy with them. But let me show you what I'm talking about with these ones. So this engine, this is actually crazy because it's an 87 KX 250. But if you look at the difference in the actual like castings too, difference in the casting is a big thing. So these are off a 2005 yfz450, and they don't coat the cases. They basically use bare aluminum. I think they might have a coating over them. I'm not sure what, maybe clear coat if they do, but these ones, they actually were coated in some black paint, some black heat paint over the years. and they held up really well. I mean, you can tell these look a lot more shiny and they're a lot more smooth. But with these ones, they actually turn out really well for what they are. But even in the lighting, you see a difference in the castings and the colors. This one looks more like a chromish in a way. It kind of looks like a dim polish. But they turn out really well. So as you can probably see in the video, the engines turned out pretty well. I'd say they're in pretty good shape. But even when it comes to vape blasting, there's still a lot I need to learn. Like I just barely scratched the surface. So most people think the vape blast is just, you know, you blast it off, and people think it goes by quick, and it really doesn't. But if you just blast it off, you're good to go. But there's actually still a lot more I need to learn, and then a lot more I need to get. So a major thing is my air compressor. It only pushes out 5 CFM because it's Harbor Freight Special. It's only a 27 gallon, so it's really no good. And it takes, I think I timed it, it's I think like 11 minutes from empty, and 9 minutes from 50 PSI, which is as low as I ever want to go with it. And that's pretty crazy because it's time consuming. But eventually in the future I want to get an 80 gallon. And then hopefully, because some 80 gallons, they're actually really good. They got single stage, 2 stage, 3 stage. I don't really need a single stage anyways, and even then, the more capacity is a lot better, the higher CFM is a lot better. And then it just strips it so much faster, so much quicker. And then even sun compressors are nice because you can actually literally just spray or fill it up, spray, and continue spraying as it fills up because it just fills up so quick. And that's what I want in the future, hopefully. And then the same with my pump. My pump, this is a cheap eBay special one. I think it was 2 weeks ago, because water got inside of it, because it's junk aluminum, so the actual media will wear a hole through into the system, and then it locks up the bearings. And that's like 3rd or 4th time it's happened. So I need to get an actual cast iron one that actually pushes out a lot more gallons per hour or whatnot, and then hopefully that'll help out a lot. But I guess that's it for this video. Next video, I might make one on my buddy's 250 I'm working on right now, or maybe about the shop, who knows, but probably on the 250 because I need to get that done and I can get paid for it, and then also have more space. But till next time.